Hello, I'm Julie Garish with Julie Garish Fitness, and I'm going to show you a great mobility series you can do right at your desk. Let's get started. So I thought we'd first start standing up, and I want you to just reach down and touch your toes if you can. So you want to flat back and wherever you get to. So this is kind of our toe touch test, just to kind of see where you're at, kind of take a barometer. I can touch my toes, but I'm pretty loosened up today because I've already done some stretching and mobility. So that being said, let's kind of think of, okay, that's where I got to. We'll have a seat at your desk. I need you to take off your shoes and maybe your socks. Nobody's looking at your feet, so we're gonna work on some foot mobility. My feet are really not attractive right now, but that's all right. So we're just gonna start massaging the ball of the foot under the big toe, and then kind of working our way over to the smaller toes, and then all the way over to the pinky toe, the final toe. And then kind of work your way down on the foot, right underneath the ball of the foot, in the center of your foot. Massaging your feet can actually have an impact all the way up to your head. So it's super important. I want to start there because of that. Okay. And we're just gonna wiggle your big toe back and forth. Big toe mobility is super important. Just kind of nice and easy wiggle. So we're kind of pushing it at the lower knuckle, that's right by the ball of your foot. And then we're gonna try to get some mobility in that middle knuckle of the big toe. So we're just gonna push that middle knuckle down. I have arthritis in one of my toes, and that's why this is particularly important. Mobility in that big toe, again, affects our balance. It affects actually quite a few things. Our glutes, our ability of our glutes to fire is determined in part by our big toe mobility. Okay, nice. We're gonna gently pull that big toe back towards the top of your foot and massage. It's gonna create a little bit of perhaps tightness in this tendon that runs down the foot into the arch. So just kind of, if you feel that, just kind of massage into that tendon. It might be tender, and if it's too aggressive, you can back off on pulling that big toe back and just massage it a little more gently. This is responsible for, sadly, plantar fasciosis. Some people know it as plantar fasciitis, where it cuts off some of the blood supply, and that can be very painful. So loosening this up is really important as well. All right, we're gonna switch. We could spend a lot of time on the foot, but we have a lot of ground to cover. So we're gonna start on the ball of the other foot. Glad nobody can see my feet because oh right, it's unattractive. I just took my socks off. All right, we're gonna work our way over to the little toe. Luckily Zoom hides a lot of that stuff. And now we're gonna massage just below the ball of the foot, in the middle of the foot, kind of pressing in with your thumbs. This should feel good. It should be painful. And then we're gonna wiggle our big toe back and forth. I would do this sort of thing if I were you, and I do it every day. Loosen up my feet. It's a good idea. And then we're gonna, from that middle knuckle, push that big toe. This is the one that has arthritis, so it doesn't wanna move too much. It doesn't hurt. I'm just trying to get some more mobility in that middle knuckle. Do a couple more. And then we're just gonna pull that big toe gently back and massage down that tendon that runs down into the arch. And again, if you notice that this is very tight, you should address it because it means that you might be on your way to getting some plantar fasciitis. Maybe some of you have had it in the past. It's a good idea to massage that foot. Mine's a little tight, so I have to give a little more attention later. So we'll do this for another couple seconds. I'm gonna keep wary of keeping an eye on the time here. So we have a lot to do. Okay. Feet being lean down, we're gonna do some thoracic spine work. So we wanna sit a little bit forward on your chair, put your hands behind your head, stay tall, and you're gonna twist. So you wanna go as far as you can, and at first you might not go as far, but as you keep going, you might get a little more range. Do not tilt your chin, and keep the elbows back. So we're moving from the elbows, so we're getting some movement in the middle back, the thoracic spine. We're gonna add on to this. So we're gonna twist just a little bit, not as far as we can go, and then lean down, bring your elbow down towards the floor. Come back up, twist a little more, same direction, lean down. So we're just getting some more movement in that thoracic spine. Twist a little more, and lean down again. This is our last one. Okay, now we'll go the other way. Twist a little bit to the other side. So I'm going to my left, lean, come back up. We're going kind of slow. Twist a little more. Remember, neutral chin position. Twist a little more. Pay attention to which side's tighter. We always have a tighter side. Okay. All right, we're coming back to the middle. We're gonna scoot to the side of our chair, onto the right side of your chair, and we're gonna hang your left leg off the chair. We're gonna be stretching our quad and our hip. So I'm gonna actually show you this facing sideways so you can see. We're gonna curl this hip under. So I'm curling the hip under and I'm squeezing this glute. That gets a bit of a stretch here, pushing this foot into the floor and reaching up and over. So I can use the edge of my chair to kind of push into that stretch. So I'll turn back so you can see. So I'm reaching up and over, getting a good stretch. Come back, curl that hip under again. Squeeze that glute, reach up and over. Big reach. Okay. Of course, you have to do the other side. Just slide to the other side of your chair. Let that left leg hang down. Curl that hip under. Reach up and over. Lean into that stretch. And then come back and reset. Curl that hip under. Reach up and over. Okay. We're going to come back to the middle of our seat. Extend your right leg with a little bend, and we're going to lean forward and stretch that hamstring. Think about pushing your femur, which is your big thigh bone here. Think about pushing that leg, that femur back, because you want a flat back. And just reach to where you can. Come back up. If you, let's do it again. If you have that flat back, you'll get more out of that stretch than if you're all rounded here. So pull your shoulders down. All right, let's switch. Little bend in the knee. Push that femur back. Reach down towards your foot. Our foot's just neutral. I'm not flexing or pointing here. And have a little bend in the knee. Come back up. Push that femur back, flat back, reach forward. Maybe you can reach forward even beyond your foot, and that's okay too. Just reach to where you can. Okay, we're gonna do another stretch seated. I think this is our last. Oh, no, it's not. We have a couple more. We're gonna take our right foot, cross it over, sit nice and tall, and gently push that knee down. You can use your hand or your elbow. You wanna stay pretty tall here and then maybe come forward, but you want a flat back. So we don't want to round or sink down. Okay, come back up, we'll do that one more time. Again, we're kind of pushing our femur back on this left leg. Stretching that right outer hip. Okay, let's switch. And again, if this doesn't feel right, just skip it. Sometimes this position might be awkward for people. They might be really tight there. If you can't get that foot down or that knee down, then you can skip this one. All right, we're gonna, if you can do it, push that knee down gently, drive that right femur back, flat back, breathe, always breathe into your stretches. If you have to hold your breath, it's too aggressive. Let's come back up, let's do it again. Push that femur back, flat back, push that knee gently. This side's a little tighter for me. Okay, all right. So we're gonna come forward on our chair a little bit, so that we're on the edge of our chair. Bring your arms down towards the floor, so I'm leaning forward. I do want to try to keep a flat back here too. We're gonna push the left hand into the side of your leg and reach that right arm up toward the ceiling. And we're turning our head too so we can look at our hand. And then we're gonna switch. Who knew you could do all these stretches right at your chair? Let's do it again. Let's try and reach a little further. So again, we're loosening up our shoulders and our back in a slightly different way. So if we move in all these different directions, we can get some really good mobility. One more time each. Breathe into it. Last one. Hopefully my music doesn't put you to sleep. It seems a little relaxing, but. All right, so we're gonna do this stretch. I don't have a desk, but you're gonna use your desk. So I'm gonna show you pretending this is my desk, but your desk will be higher, which is actually better. So your arms are gonna be like this, elbows together, palms facing your head, and you're gonna be on your desk, and you're gonna drive your hips back, which I can't really do so much, but it would be looking like this. So you use your desk to push in, and the other way to do it, which I will do, is kneeling with your hands on your chair or a bench. So you can sit back into this stretch just as well from a kneeling position. The one thing that's better to do it seated is if people have knee issues, this sitting back doesn't always work. It might be too much bend for some people. So either way, we're gonna do it again. You're driving your hips back, pull your shoulders down, so you want a flat back. I'm really thinking about sticking my hips back. And you should get a good stretch in the back and the sides of the shoulders, which is the lats. And breathe. Okay. All right, we're gonna be standing. And if you have a wall, this is gonna work best. I just wanna check the time. Okay, we're almost out of time. So we're gonna put one foot forward against your wall. I don't have a wall right here, but you wanna use, if you can use a wall, it's better. You're gonna drive your knee, and I'll pretend this is my wall, and back out. This front foot should be nice and flat. And my back foot is straight. My back heel can lift up, so I'm pushing into my imaginary wall and back out. We're stretching out that ankle. One more time. Okay, let's switch. Drive that knee in and back out. Again, you want to drive through the heel. You should barely be able to touch your wall with your knee. If you can easily touch the wall, slide your foot back a little. If you can't touch the wall at all, slide your foot forward a little bit. Make sure your back foot's straight. And people will often say, oh, I get a good stretch in my back foot. No. Lift your back heel. I want the stretch to be on the front foot right now. Okay. So we're going to do a little mobility through the ankles. You can use your chair or your wall. I'm going to use my chair since I don't have a wall right in front of me. We're going to stand on the right foot. And what you're going to do is raise up onto your foot as high as you can go through the big toe and ball the foot. Hold it up there for a few seconds and then go slow all the way down. If this is too much for you, you can do it with 2 feet at once. If it doesn't work for you to do it on one, if you have an ankle issue. We want to really try to stay driving through the big toe. So you don't want to lean to the outside of the foot. You want to push straight up. So that's why holding on to a chair or a wall is really important. Otherwise, it's really hard to do. So we're going to do a few more. This particular stretch, I wouldn't do every day. I would do it every other day at most. Because it can be a little too much for people. It's a lot of calf work. We're going to do a couple more. Last one. Okay, switch to the other foot. So standing tall, push through that big toe and ball your foot. Hold it up there, go slow all the way down. Good. And kind of pay attention again, which foot is harder Do you have an ankle injury? Do you have something going on in your feet? This is actually a good rehab for plantar fasciitis. So if you have plantar fasciitis, I would recommend doing this. This can actually alleviate some pain and can help get the ankles and the calves stronger. Okay, so we set this aside. We're going to do a side step with our right foot. Reach that right arm across, and then same with the left. So we're just reaching side to side. Step right, reach right overhead to the left. And then, good. Let's do one more each side. Big reach. Last one. Okay. We're going to put our right foot forward, our left foot back. You're going to curl the hips under a little bit again, like we did seated. We're going to squeeze that glute. You're going to reach that left arm across, kind of in front of your forehead, diagonally over. So we're getting some movement here through the back. Shoulders, a little different than we did before. Let's switch. Curl the hip under. Reach across and over, so we're rotating into that stretch. That feels good. Okay, we're gonna do a little cat-cow standing. So we're gonna pull the arms down onto your back, pull those shoulders down, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then thread the fingers around the back and push your shoulders back. Tuck your chin. Let's do that again. Yep, squeeze those shoulder blades and around. One more time. Pull down, look up with your head, squeeze those shoulder blades, thread the fingers around. Okay, we're going to do one more thing, and then we're going to try that toe touch again. So you can use the back of your chair or a wall. We're going to do a hip hinge. So you're going to bend your knees, push your hips back. Your arms can be a little bent or even a bit straight. So we're stretching those back of the legs. But you want a flat back. Drive back up. And we'll do that again. Bend the knees, push the hips back. All right. One more time. Little bend, about a 20-degree bend in your knees. Flat back, pull the abs in. Okay, let's try that toe touch again. So with a flat back, you're gonna reach down towards the floor. Can you get further? I can get all my whole hands down here, so that's great. So obviously for me, it helped loosen up, get me a little lower into my stretch, and hopefully you guys feel a little looser too. And that is our desk mobility for today.